These are the instructions for the Newton's Second Law Lab. Please make sure that you read the instructions on the actual handout very, very, very carefully. The setup and the running of this lab are crucial for collecting good, accurate, valid data. So the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is read the directions. Make sure you gather all your materials. You are going to need the little car that we used before. You're going to need clay, a meter stick, a stopwatch, a piece of string, which I'll pre-cut for you, a scale, the digital balance, and tape. Okay, so you're going to need to set up a track for your car, a measured track. You're going to want to do this on the lab station. The reason for that is that you need a ledge for that. So I'm going to go ahead and move my computer down so that we can set up the track. Okay. The first thing is there is a diagram on the back of the instruction sheet also, and then I'm going to set it up here so that you can see what I'm doing. Might move this. How's that? That looks good. Okay, so the first thing is you want to really make sure that you have this correctly measured out. There's instructions for this on the back, and that you want the car to have a full meter to travel. So what I did is I had you go ahead and set the finish line for the track 10 centimeters back from the edge of the table. So I'm going to mark my finish line 10 centimeters back. Then I'm going to measure the track being a full meter long. So move my meter stick back and put the starting line 1 meter away from that piece of tape. That way I have 1 meter for the car to travel. The next thing to do is set up the car. You do have to make a few mass measurements. You're going to have to measure the mass of the car before you start. And then you're going to have to get a weight. This is actually going to work as our force. So it's just going to be a piece of clay hanging from a string. It needs to be about 50 to 70 grams. I suggest that you start on the closer end to 50 and then add more if you need to. You're going to want to tie it to the end of the string. This needs to be able to hang over the edge of the table. Okay? What's really, really important here is that the clay actually does hang just over the edge of the table. You want it to be able to fall as far as it can. So if it's hanging down here, it doesn't have as far to fall. So at the starting point, the clay needs to be hanging just over the edge of the table. Okay, so we're back up here. From there, you're going to tie the string to your car. Use the little hole in the car, not the axle, because if you use the axle, you'll get friction, and that's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to back my car up so that the car is at the starting line and the string is tight. You'll notice, or you might be able to notice here, that I have some extra slack. So I'm going to have to tighten up on my string so that my car's front wheels are at the starting line and the string is completely tight. Don't tie a knot so tight that you can't undo it, so that you can make adjustments as needed. So here I've got my clay hanging right over the edge, my string is tight, and the wheels of my car are right at the starting line. From here, you're going to just let that clay pull the car. Okay? You're going to let it pull all the way to the finish line. I didn't. It's helpful to have a partner. Okay? And you're going to time how long it takes to cover that 1 meter. Okay? So that's going to be your first round. After that, in the instructions, it says to add a piece of 40-gram clay. So you're going to take a piece of clay and you're going to measure it out so that it's 40 grams. You're going to add that to your car. Okay, so you're increasing the mass of your car. Then you're going to repeat it. Make sure that the clay is hanging right over the edge. Make sure that your wheels are right on the starting line. The line is tight, and then you're gonna let it fall and time it. You're gonna repeat this as instructed in here, making sure you're recording your data in the data table. Please make sure at the end that you clean everything up. That means to take all the string and untie it. Make sure that you take all the clay and return it to me. Put away your stopwatches, peel the tape off the tables, and put everything back to the way you found it. Thanks. Good luck.